Alright, what's up, what is up? What's going on, everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream. Just wanted to make sure that we got up and going really quickly. So by the title of the video, it's not clickbait or anything like that. It's just simple math. It's not get rich quick. Obviously, if you know anything about this channel, we don't do get rich quick here whatsoever. I was scammed by get rich quick, like probably most of us are looking at ways like make money on the internet, how to get rich, all that stuff. But that was when I was young and dumb, 17 years old, gullible, believe anything, right? But today we're just going to go over simple math. And there's actually an app for this that I'm going to talk about here in a second. I don't know why I highlighted that. But how's it going, Josh? Good afternoon. Wow, you're really quick. But we're just going to talk about how literally $100 can turn you into a millionaire. And I'm not just saying $100 overall. Obviously, you guys know that like you can start out with $100 in the stock market, and there's tons of stores where people go from like $100 or $1,000 or whatever to like millions of dollars. It does not happen overnight. Are there cases where people do get lucky, get into Bitcoin and all that good stuff? Yes, but we're just going to talk about how just a standard person, you can literally be a loser in America and get rich. $100 is absolutely nothing per month for 99.99% of people. Are there cases where people are like scraping the bottom of the barrel? Yes, those people need to get their incomes up, obviously, by doing various things. I already talked about, there's a video I have where we did a stream about how to increase your income, mowing lawns if you can. You can literally go buy a used lawnmower for $50, $60, a little weed eater for probably around the same price. Go start mowing and weed eating lawns for $25 to $40 per lawn. Easy money. You can do that once a week, one lawn a week, 40, let's just say $30 average. That's there you go. Boom, $120 right there. There's your $100. But anyways, we're going to talk about how $100 per month, that's probably what I should have titled this video. Some people are probably going to think it's clickbait, but it's not. I just like to keep the title short. I even wrote it down here. $100 invested every month. You will be a millionaire by the age, depending on when you start. Obviously, if you're 35, in this case, the example we're using here, it's going to be 40 years, $100 a month for 40 years. By the way, that's only $48,000 invested still. So technically, it's turning $48,000 into what's actually $1.17 million. Exact number is $1,176,477.25, just to be exact. So how do you do this exactly? I mean, it's simple math, really. We're not going to get too into it. Making sure no one's at the door. Look like someone's at the door. I'm actually doing this like in the living room. So as you can see, $48,000. How do you get that math? So obviously your $100 per month times 12 months in a year, obviously, and then you multiply that by the amount of years, which is going to be 40 in this case. That's $48,000 that you have invested. And now, how did I get this number? I actually use this app. It's just, you search compound interest calculator on Google Play Store or Apple iTunes Store. That's one I use. And then there's this app. It's literally just called Compound. I don't know if you guys see it right here. It's like the little green one right there. Just a simple little icon. And literally, I was just playing around with this. You do your current amount that you'll start out with, which obviously for most people is going to be $0. You put the investment link. I did 40 years. Annual rate of return, we did 12%. Why? Because the S&P 500 has averaged over the last 75 years roughly 12%, 10 to 12% per year. So in this case, we're doing 12, but let's go ahead and back it. We'll back it in a minute. 12% though is the average. Does it mean it does 12% every single year? No. It's saying in general, you might have years where it does 18%, 20%. You might have years where it does flatline, 1, 2, 4, or sometimes maybe even minus a percent. Obviously, in like the 2008 recession, all that stuff. But on average, your average annual rate of return, 12%, $100 contribution for 40 years. You contributed $48,000, which means your total profit is over $1,128,477.25 worth of profit. It's right here if you guys want to like just take a look at it, how the overall platform looks. I was going to try to do this as a live stream from my phone, but I couldn't figure out a way. I'm trying to figure out how to use a software to be able to like screen share from my phone onto YouTube. But it literally walks you through year by year. Year 0, obviously $0, and then you can see year 1, you have like just over $1,200. You made like 68 bucks off your money. Year 2, you're already up to almost $2,700. if you're wondering, by like year 15, you're already up to about $50,000. So if you think you can only do it for 15 years at $100, you're still going to have $50,000 when you only invested how much? So $100 times your 12 months, obviously. Let's just go with the 1,200 because we know it's 1,200 per year. Let's say you can only invest for, say, 15 years is what you're planning on. You still only invested $18,000, and by year 15, you have pretty much it's $49,958. Let's just round up, say $50,000. So you still had $32,000 worth of profit, which you did not work for. All you were doing was investing it in like a mutual fund or something like that makes 12% per year. This is just for standard basic people. This isn't for people that like to mess around with stocks, doing options like a lot of us do on here. This is just for the standard American that thinks it's impossible to retire a millionaire. If you don't retire a millionaire in America, it is your fault, plain and simple. There's no way around it. If you can't find, you can literally find $100. You know what you do? You go sit down, make a budget. You don't have to write it on paper like a lot of people do. What I do is I use actually the Every Dollar budget app. It's actually made by like Dave Ramsey. And like, not him specifically, like he has a team that made the app. I use that, and then I write down on paper for each paycheck, still technically living paycheck to paycheck, quote unquote. I write down each paycheck what bills are going to come out, how much food I plan on buying, if I need any hygiene type stuff like a haircut like I need, or anything like that. I like write it to almost, I give that's the whole point of the app, Every Dollar. Every dollar has a name. That way you're not sitting at the end of every month going, well, I wonder where all my money went. Because you go and dwindle it on stupid shit like Target runs, mall runs, when you think, oh, I'm only going to go look at stuff. I hate when my girlfriend will say that sometimes. She'll be like, we're going to go to the mall, and be like, why? You don't have no money like to do that. And then she's like, well, we're just going to look. Like, I don't understand it. Maybe it's a woman thing. But, I mean, just make a plan for your money. You spend $100 on pizza. You spend $100 on Uber Eats, on Uber whenever you're drunk downtown going home. You spend $100. You can find $100. If you sit down and make a budget, just start out with your basic expenses: rent, utilities, food, hygiene, phone bill, internet. By the way, cut cable if you have cable. You're probably overpaying, and you'll see that once you actually sit down and do a budget. But you will be like, wow, most people make roughly at least $2,000 a month at least. So you're like, wow, I make $2,000. We both, say you're a couple, we bring home $4,000 usually at the minimum, at national average, $4,000 per month. Our expenses are only about $2,900 to $3,000. Where's that other $1,000 going? There you go. You can find $100. I'm telling you, if you sit down, make a budget, and budget doesn't mean, it's not like, oh, I can't do anything, I'm on a budget. It's just giving every dollar single name. Say you want, I call it my miscellaneous money. I use about 5% of like my bring home money for miscellaneous. So let's say you bring home, let's say you're single, $2,000. This is how me and my girlfriend do ours, because obviously we're not married. We don't share money or anything like that. I mean, we split bills, but we don't like share money. So how we do ours, we both bring home roughly like $2,100 to $2,500 a month. But let's just say the average is $2,000. And say you're wanting to calculate miscellaneous, I always say 5% is reasonable. That still gives you, oh, look at there, $100. So if you don't want to spend any on miscellaneous, there's your $100 right there. I mean, literally, that just goes to show, if you put just what you put on crap, miscellaneous stuff, going out to eat, going clubbing, buying alcohol, whatever you do in your free time, $100, 5% of your income. Most people suggest that you invest 15, 20, 40% of your income, which is great if you can do so. But all I'm saying is investing 5% of your money. This is your miscellaneous, of course, what we're talking about. But investing 5%. Now imagine the math. Now let's say that you have some kind of skill or something, and you're able to bring home, let's just say $3,100. I know a lot of people bring home like $3,000 or so. So let's say $3,100 a month, single person. Let's say you still only invest 5%. You can only scratch 5% of your income. You're at $155 a month. Do you want to see what $155 a month? You'll be amazed by just $50, $55. It doesn't sound like a lot, but look, $155 over that time with the same 12%, 40 years, that gives you over pretty much $1.52 million. So you literally, by investing just about $50 more a month, 50 to $55 more a month, you literally upped your retirement from $1,176,000 to $1,520,000 essentially. So you upped it by almost $400,000 just by investing $55 per month times 12 times 40. So by investing just $26,000 more, over $26,000 a year, you upped your retirement by pretty much $400,000. So next time you think that, oh, investing $100 a month, 50 here, won't add up over time, it will. It will, guys. Let's say, I mean, I could do this all day. We could sit here and do this all day. Say you can't afford the 100, which is total bullshit. Everybody can afford $100. Like I said, you spend $100 on pizza, cable. Oh my God, I can't even say how much you all spend on cable probably. You blow $100, let's just face it. But let's say for some reason you make some shitty wage, you have no skills, whatever. If so, you're probably not even watching this video because you have no drive. But let's say you can only scratch the $50 times 12, which is like 2% of the income at $2,000. Times your 12 months, $600 times 40 years. And by the way, this is if you never get a raise. So if you go 40 years without getting a raise, being able to invest any more than $100 per month, like I said, losers can retire millionaires in America. So instead of investing, pretty much, yeah, you're cutting your amount in half that you invested. So let's say, again, $50. You still have pretty much $500,000 in retirement, which is a hell of a lot more than if you're not going to invest anything. $24,000 turned into $488,000. I mean, again, are you for sure going to average 12%? No. Let's go ahead and say what most people say, which most people say around 10%. I hear a lot between 8. I hear sometimes up to 14. 14 is probably pushing it. But there are some out there that average 14, 16%. You just got to find them. I have a few ticker symbols that I can go over in another video if you guys wish. But let's just say you average 10% on that $50. You still have over $250,000, almost $300,000 at that point. But let's go with that number, the 400. Let's just say, let's split the difference on the two and just say $400,000 being a total loser, only investing $50 a month for 40 years, which we obviously said is $24,000. So let's say you start at 30 years old. Say you're getting a late start. You're going to do this clear up to 65, 70 years old. So you probably have what? Let's say roughly 30 years to live. A lot of people are living to 100 anymore. So let's say you need this money for about 30 years. Divide that by your 30 years. I mean, you only have $13,000 to live off of, which is obviously poverty level. We don't want you to be here, obviously. You're going to depend on Social Security and stuff like that, which probably is not going to be around by the time we're that age. But that would be roughly what you'd have. But let's go to the number that this whole video is about, where if you invest $100 per month, we've kind of gone all over the place with the numbers. It's just, I love this stuff because literally, just like we're talking about, $50 more per month can make a huge difference. But for this video, like we're talking about, $100 per month for 40 years, you invested $48,000. That gives you pretty much, let's just say $1,175,000 because it's 76. But let's just say you had a bad year or something. It's only 75. $1,176,000. Let's just say $6,000 since I already put the 6 there. Is that right? Yeah. So now you divide that. Again, let's say you got a late start, 30 years old, 40 years, 70. Let's say you need this for 30 years. That still gives you about $40,000 per year to live off of, which is what? Pretty close to the national average. And obviously the national average at that point is probably going to be up even more, probably close to 10, 20%, who knows at that point. But still a hell of a lot more than not investing in anything at all. And what was the number for that 155 that we were talking about? I already forgot. I should have wrote it down. So 155, that was what? Just over $1.5 million. Let's just call it let's just call it $1.5 million since it's literally right over it. Divide that by, say you're 30 years still. That gives you 50,000 flat. That's a hell of a lot more, again, than if you don't invest anything. Now, what is realistic? I mean, I'll probably do another separate video about this because I know this video is probably getting long. Wow, we're already at 15 minutes. It's crazy how you can just start rambling about stuff you actually enjoy and like talking about. That's some good stuff. Sweet tea we got for 50 cents at my local store. Wingco or whatever it's called. So, I sat down, did my budget, like complete budget, being debt-free, all that good stuff. Even if this is where I don't 100% agree with Dave Ramsey, he suggests getting entirely out of debt, which I understand because obviously when you have no payments, you have more money to invest, right? However, I say at the minimum, you should invest 5% of your money every single month, period. End of discussion. Why? Because of that power of compounding interest and all that stuff. But I did my budget for being totally debt-free. Obviously, you guys know I only have, like, I've been stuck at, like, $2,000 for, like, the longest since we moved and whatnot. It's throwing my whole budget off. But we're finally starting to get back on track here, slowly but surely. And I did my complete budget on the Every Dollar app. And I figured I will have roughly $500 per month to invest, at the minimum. $500 per month, because me and my girlfriend were doing, oh, what if we were married, blah, 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 it was 1,000, so divided by 2, 500. $500 at the minimum per month to invest, times your 12 months, that's obviously $6,000 per year, and again, this is if I were to get not a single raise, make the same amount of money that I make from now until I retire. Obviously, you guys know I don't plan on working a job 40 years and all that, so this is probably going to be totally different. This is, again, just for an example, for the average person, like I said, people that don't even like have a drive to start their own businesses or anything like that, just someone that can invest by doing a simple budget and putting investing as a top priority. So $6,000 times your, again, 40 years. It doesn't matter when you start, it just matters that you start. 40 years seems like a long time, but most people know it goes by like that. I mean, I'm already, I know I'm young and all, but I still sit there and I'm like, man, I'm 21. I don't really care about any birthdays anymore. Like, after you're 21, what do you have to look forward to? But, so times 40 years, you invested about $250,000. So, that $250,000 turned into $4.9 million over that 40 years. So, if you did it from age 25 to 65, or age 30 to 70, age 20 to 60. That's why I always tell people. I tell my little brother, he just graduated. He's like looking to get his life started and whatnot. I'm like, dude, just find money to invest. I don't care if it's $10, $20, $50, $100,000. If you, the more you can, the better. But even if you're just doing 10, 20, it all adds up. Just invest every single month, period. But so that $240,000, you had, what is that? 240,000 divided by $4.9 million. Your total like percent gain would be what? I did that wrong. I did that math wrong. But that doesn't matter. That's for people that like do the day trading stuff, obviously. So let's just do your $4.9 million for you to live off of. Let's say you were smart, started at 25 instead of 30, so you have this at 65, which is about the average retirement, 60, 70 years old. It's way too high if you ask me. I don't understand why people want to work 40, 50 years to retire and enjoy it for maybe 10 to 20. It doesn't really make sense to me, but whatever. Let's say you do get to retire at 65 years old, which is still good. Let's say you need this for 35 years, live to 100. Oh, I hit it too many times. Too excited. Divided by your 35 years. That gives you $140,000 per year to live off of. I don't know about you, but I think by that age, I'll probably be able to live pretty comfortable off $140,000 a year. Be able to give to local charities, churches, any time I want to give, essentially not have to bat an eye about it. Let's say you wanted that $4.9 million. Let's say let's say you started even younger. Say you're smart, really smart, started at 20 years old, start investing $500 per month. You retire by 60. Let's say you need that for 40 years. That still gives you over 122,000 roughly. Obviously, taxes and whatnot are going to come out. Let's just say $100,000 per year by the age of 60. And this is just off of 40 years, only averaging 12%. You guys know I've preached on, if you are smart and actually do your own research, you can average a hell of a lot more than 12% per year, period. There are ones out there. There's literally even mutual funds. I found mutual fund ticker symbols. I don't know where my watch list is for. I have a new watch list. It might be in my paper trading account. I wish I found it, but I found some ticker symbols like that have averaged literally roughly 30% the last 2 to 3 years. Now, obviously, you want to look more longer term for those of you that aren't into it. But I'm talking right now. We're kind of switching gears quickly. I'm gonna end this video soon because, like I said, I can ramble about this all day. But and if you guys have any questions, just shoot them out there in the comments. I'll definitely be willing to answer them because I know it can a lot of people aren't into this whole math stuff, and it can get confusing to a lot of people. But you guys know that you can average roughly 20, 30, easily 30% per year if you do your investments right, you do your research, you don't get greedy and not take your profits and run like a lot of people that were investing in Twitter and Facebook that got hammered this week. Both dropped over 20% at one point, and people that caught it capitalized on it. It's all about the dip buying, cup and handle. We all know about it. But easily you can do 30% per year if you do your homework. A lot of people don't agree with that, but you can. So let's be greedy here. Let's say we're the people. This is for the go-getters now. Let's say you average 30% per year. Let's say you're able to invest $1,000 per month. Just averaging, this is 10 times per year. Okay, 12 times per year. There you go. Every month. So, $1,000. Take that times your 12. That's obviously $12,000. You take that times. We're going to do, let's go ahead and shorten the years up on this. I have this at 40 years right now. Let's shorten it to 30. See if this is right. Okay, so we're going to shorten that to 30. Your $12,000 times 30 years. That's obviously $360,000 that you have invested. By the way, most couples, you can find $1,000 per month. Me and my girlfriend sat down, did the whole what if we were married or whatever, and we found $1,000 per month to invest. And we each, like I said, only make at the most roughly $2,500 a month. Bring home, so about $5,000 a month together, which is about the national average. Was the national average 4,000 to 5,000 for couples or something like that, maybe 6. Pretty close, and we're only 21 years old. So either way, if you're married, you for sure can find $1,000 per month, I'm sure. Whole point though, this is obviously for the go-getters. $1,000 per month, averaging 30% per year. You put in $360,000. Your return is 200. Is that right? Your return is 290. This is obviously way out there because this is you averaging 30% per year, not taking anything out of that for 30 years. Keep in mind, a lot of people are gonna think this is nuts. I even think it is. I hope I'm reading it right. $290 million. $129,346.98. There's your number right there. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. So, if you think that it's too much work, too hard, takes too much time to pick your own stocks, 30% per year, that's really nothing, guys. 30% per year divided by 12 months, that's averaging only about 2.5% per month. We've talked about you can do easily 3% average in a week. So 2.5% per month You can do that. You can do that. Don't let anyone tell you cannot do that. 2.5% per month is easy. Are there going to be down months where you might have -1, -5? Yes, but averaging, it all averages out to 2.5% per month. You can do that, guys. 290, well, 209, pretty much just flat, $290 million after 30 years. So let's say you start at 25, you end at 55, you say, you know what, I got enough money, this doesn't matter, just give me my $290 million, let me go live my life. I'm 55 years old, still pretty young, and obviously you're going to need this for 45 years. That gives you still, what is that, $6,444,444 and some change. Obviously, Uncle Sam's probably going to get his cut, so you're probably only going to see about $4 million of that. But obviously, if you do your taxes right, you'll see a hell of a lot more. But let's just say $4 million. I mean, come on, guys. Can you live off $4 million? Would you do the work for $4 million? That's the thing. You have to look. So many people get stuck in stupid stuff like, man, that car's really nice. I want to get that car. Guess what? The average car payment in America is roughly $400. I think it was like $469. Let's just say $400 per month. You have to get full coverage insurance. Full coverage insurance for most people is another $100 per month added on right off the bat. That's $500 per month right there. I'm trying to write this stuff down so I don't forget, because I'm going to use it again in more and more videos. I'm going to do so many more videos about this because people have just lost their mind when it comes to personal finance. It's just insane. And then we spend, average people spend $900 to $1,000 per month for rent, sometimes more. Some people will go out there and get like 15. I see some houses for like $3,000 per month in rent. Can you believe? Now, obviously, those people are probably making hundreds of thousands per year. They don't care. They're probably well off anyways. You need to learn to live frugal, almost like a minimalist. I can't ever say that word, minimalist. If you don't know who those people are, look them up. They're called the minimalists. I just learned about them a few days ago. I wouldn't go that far, but you need to learn to live a lot more frugally, short term, so long term. It's like Dave Ramsey says, essentially. Like I said, I don't agree with him on everything, but I mean, if you live like no one else now for a short period of time, you can live like no one else later. That's what it's all about. Most people are spending, I think, at least $250 more than what they should per month. There's another $250. You're at $750 right off the bat that you can be saving by getting rid of your stupid car payment. I've talked about this before on this channel. By getting rid of your stupid car payment and getting rid of, obviously, the full coverage insurance that you have to have. Because why? Because you have a stupid car payment. Saving $250 a month on rent because you don't need some fancy place. Me and my girlfriend are like kind of arguing back and forth about this right now because she's wanting this in our place. And I'm like, as long as we can sleep, we're not worried about getting shot at night. We don't have to worry about people breaking in or whatever. And we have washer dryer hookups because apparently that's super important. That's all we need to worry about. I don't care about the floor as long as it's clean, of course. I don't care if it's wood, tile, carpet, as long as it's clean and there's like it's not infested in anything. I don't care. So you save $750 per month just by limiting your lifestyle. I need to get a whiteboard. I got this all on like paper. If I had a whiteboard behind me, this would be a lot better, I bet. I mean, the money, like I said, guys, the money is there. You just need to sit down, do a budget. Definitely do the Every Dollar app. I think I have a video about that too. After this video, this live video uploads or whatever, I'll try to remember to put a link for it in the description box. Man, my battery always starts to go dead every time I do live streams. But this is such a long stream too. Still got 2 of you watching. I mean, the money is out there, guys. You just literally have to go get it. If you can save $750 per month, that alone, your car payment, getting rid of full coverage insurance, and saving $250 on rent per month, because, like I said, let's be real, you don't need to spend $1,000 per month for rent. You can easily find a place for $750, $800 at the most. Me and my girlfriend have found tons. We're looking at places that are like $6 to $7. More money you can save, more money you can invest. It's just basic math. It's not rocket science, guys. if you can invest just that $750 per month, let's say you're lazy as fuck, don't want to worry about doing 30% per month because you're too lazy to learn something as simple as reading charts and reading into events and stuff to be able to invest. Let's say you only average your 12%, still that is $2.7 million over 30. This is still just 30 years. I didn't put it back on 40. 2.7, and it's actually, yeah, it's about $2.7 million. $2.7 million. Let's say you do that from age 30 to 60, because most people aren't smart enough and don't realize, shit, I need something for retirement until they're like 30 for some reason. I don't know why, but let's say you do that at 30 to 60, so you're going to need this for about, what, 40 years still? We're basing this off of living to 100. That gives you almost $68,000 per year. That's what most people need to live. I don't know about you guys, but if I can bring home, just me alone, if I can bring home $68,000 per year, I can live pretty comfortably. I don't care where you live. You can live pretty comfortably. This is just one person investing $750 a month. So imagine you and your wife combine $130,000 roughly per year. Most people can live very, very comfortably. A lot of people do not even make this. I think if you make over, was it $120,000 in America, you're like in the top 20 or top 15 percentile, something like that, in income. So most people, that'd be a raise. I mean, it's literally just cutting your lifestyle temporarily. It feels like a long time, but it will go by quick. Just sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. If you got to, go pick up a second job, do something like Uber Eats. We have down here Favor, where like you run deliveries, Order Up. I know it was up in Missouri where I came from. There's so many ways to make money right now, guys. There's no reason to at least find that $100 per month. And then obviously we've gone on and on about how you can do 500, 750, 1,000, averaging more percents. Most of this was based off of averaging 12% for 30 to 40 years. We went over the crazy math on if you average 30% per year for 30 years, that was like almost $300 million. 30% is a stretch for most people, just because, again, no one's willing to do the work. A lot of hedge funds are lucky to average like 20% per year. I have found some pretty good ticker symbols that I'll be willing to break down for you guys that have averaged. There's 2 this year that are averaging like 33%. If you guys want me to, I can do a video about that, and we can talk about it in Discord as well. If you're not in the Discord chat, that is one of the first links in the description box. And there's a book. If you're wondering how I just learned about a lot of this information, one, Dave Ramsey Show. I love Dave Ramsey, of course. Obviously, like I mentioned in this video multiple times, I don't agree with everything he says, but a lot of it I do. And then also the book Compound Interest, or Compounding It, something like that. It's a simple book, short book, super cheap. I have that posted in the description box as well. I found the cheapest one on Amazon. I think you can even buy it used for even cheaper. If I remember, you can get it for like $7. Brand new, I think it's like 10 or 11 bucks. But a lot of times you can get it used, like new, whatever, for really, really cheap. I've mentioned that book probably 5-10 times on this channel, but like I said, that's one of the first links in the description box as well. It'll take you straight to Amazon. You can get it if you wish. But yeah, I'll go ahead and start wrapping this video up because we're over half an hour now. I wanted this to only be like a 10-15 minute video originally, but of course, never does, especially when it comes to math, because math is what I love, obviously, especially whenever you can literally take $48,000 and turn it into $1.2 million. You can find $100 latte. You spend $100 on lattes. $5 a day is what a lot of people spend on coffee. Take that times 25 days, your work days, $125 a month. There you go. So that's it for this video. Great guy. Thanks again, Josh. I'll probably be in Discord chat. I'm gonna try to do voice Discord chat today, Josh, if you want. I know it's been a while since I've been in there, so I'll probably try to hop in there today. Probably right after I get off this stream. I just need a drink. I just ran out of my drink. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. Hopefully you guys did take some information from it. Don't take it to heart if you think you're a loser just because I said that you're a loser if you never get a raise. But again, these numbers are all based on if you never get a raise, if you can never invest more than a certain amount that I put in this calculator. And again, this calculator, I mean, it is a calculator. You can find the compound interest calculator all over the internet. You can find it on internet. So if you don't have a smartphone, you can do it from a computer. There's calculators for it on the internet. There's apps all over the app store. I should have posted a link. I didn't think about it. I might do that too. I'm going to edit this description and try to put some more links in there for you guys. But just Google it. If you're interested in it, get on Google or get on your app store, whichever app store you use, Google Play or Apple App Store. Just Google compound interest calculator. It'll pull up. They're all pretty easy to use. And then just figure out, most people know how much they're going to need to live off of for retiring. So just figure out how much you need to invest per month, what age. Say, okay, I'm 25 right now. I'm not, obviously, but for example, I'm 25 right now. I want to be able to retire by 50, 25 years. How much money am I going to need to invest to get there? That's where you have to start. Oh, I got a message here. How's it going, Jake? It's been so long. How's your account doing? Uh-oh, battery's about to run out. I got to make this one quick. Same. I'm not investing right now. I'm getting out of debt. We're moving into our own place. I got to make this quick since my battery's about to die. But yeah, I'll be investing very, very soon once we get settled in our new place. But yeah, I'll have more about that. If you're not in the Discord chat, I'll talk about that a little bit more as well. But yeah, I'll have a video about that explaining it a lot more too. But yeah, for the time being, I'm not investing whatsoever, but I will be very, very, very soon. I'm trying as much as possible. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there, making those profits, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. But until next time, guys, have a good day.